Hello. Today, you will hear a story about a man's revenge. It was my birthday. It was a special birthday because I was turning 21. And it was special because I thought at that point that I had really grown up and become an adult. But as always before that moment, I was wrong. And I took my first step to becoming maybe not quite the right way, but at the very least, I became more aware of people. Was in the company of my closest people at the time, with whom, in principle, we always celebrated my birthday. These were my friends who I had known since town where I was born and raised, and my brothers. I wasn't the only one celebrating my birthday. My friend, my comrade, was also born on the same day but 3 years earlier. I have no idea how fate brought us together, but it did. We met in the dormitory where I spent all my youth. And probably the best years of my life. He seemed to me a very kind and friendly man who was always ready to help. But on this, a beautiful and sunny day, nothing foretold trouble. My girlfriend, with whom we had been dating for 3 years, was as always very cheerful. On this day made me a gift, fulfilled all my whims as I wished. And as the result, it turned out that she cheated on me that day. And on my own party, to which I invited all my closest and known to me people because I thought 21 was like a transition to adulthood. I spent a very large amount of money with my friend, but unfortunately, or fortunately, at the time, he had more money. He had a birthday the same day as me. And I thought that this holiday would be special for me, but it turned out not to be. It didn't look like anything was going to go wrong, but something happened that day that I had always feared would happen. We celebrated in a sauna with every comfort and hobby imaginable. Everyone was having fun, drinking, and having the time they wanted. And, of course, so did we. There was a big sauna with several rooms for privacy, with a big lobby, a bar, and even a pool table. We were having a good time, but when I happened to walk into a room they hadn't even bothered to close. I saw something I never wanted to see. In my life, my friend who was 24 at the time slept with my girlfriend. It was like I had fallen into an abyss at the time, and I didn't know how to act, so I left. What happened to me I can't even describe, for that I haven't found the words until now. It was one of those people who helped me all the time, was there for me in all the situations I couldn't solve on my own. But on this particular day, lust and passion played a part. She was devoted to me, but we had a little too much alcohol that day, and it just so happened that he was handsome and attractive. He had a girlfriend that I knew very well, and it just so happened that she didn't know anything about the situation. We were living in a place at the time, and because she saw what I discovered when they acted together, apparently caused her not to come home but to spend the night somewhere else. Most likely at her sister's house, which was not entirely correct in her behavior. I was very angry and decided that I needed to talk to the girlfriend of this very friend who had acted like the last scoundrel. I went to their house, and by a fluke, my former friend was at work. His girlfriend was a very beautiful and attractive female specimen, but because he was my friend, I didn't pay attention. I wanted to tell what happened in the sauna, but something went wrong. This girl, whose name was Anna, was with this friend just to get my attention, and that day came. She jumped on me right away and told me that I would do whatever I wanted with her. And as you understand, because of my feelings of mad anger and revenge, I decided to take that step, and I did what she had been dreaming her for a long time. We did things with her that I never even dreamed I would do. I got maximum satisfaction. Maybe out of a sense of anger, maybe out of a sense of revenge, a sense of dignity, or a sense that I could do what my girlfriend did. Maybe out of stupidity, or maybe because that's what she wanted me to do. We had a very good time, after which I decided to tell her about the situation. And you know what? She was ecstatic how we could be together now, but after all the time I had spent with my girlfriend, I knew very well that she was the only one I needed. And no sex and just having a good time would not replace what I had with her. Of course, I was so proud of myself that I got my revenge and was basically better than my opponent naturally, according to her. But that didn't change the emptiness in my soul. I needed to make her understand what she had lost. That's when I set my genius plan in motion. I had to make my friend and my girlfriend know that the revenge had been in the most glorious way possible. I specifically asked Anna not to talk about our good time together, arguing that it would happen again. She naturally agreed because that was her main goal. The first thing I did was set up a meeting for the two of them at the same place but an hour apart. The pretext was that I wanted to get to the bottom of all the events that were going on and take stock. First, there was the meeting with my supposed friend. He strangely enough came on time and with a smile on his face as if nothing had happened, but luckily, I knew what I had to do to remove his smirk from his handsome but ugly face. I told him I slept with your girlfriend, so I'm not mad at you. I don't hold a grudge and I extended my hand out to him. He did not believe my words in bewilderment and rushed right away to call Anna, who naturally denied everything as I had planned. I said that it's your right to accept it as fact or just believe your girlfriend. He was perplexed. And then I decided not to act on the situation, but to act on my cunning, but invented plan. Saying that I invite him home, but before that, saying that I need to finish one thing, I went to meet my ex-girlfriend who dared to cheat on me. Strangely enough, she was on time too. She must have felt bad for me because I did not do anything bad to her and tried to be the best man on the planet, but apparently it did not work. We went for a walk in the park and worked things out, but I didn't really want to work out. I invited her home, but before I did, I told her that she would have to wait a little while because I wanted to surprise her. Before that, I arranged to meet Anna, who was so in love with me, at my apartment. Naturally, under the pretext of sex and other debauchery. She was very happy with my proposal as she wanted to be with me and not with my handsome but very mean friend of mine. During this time, I got everyone together at one point, or rather at my apartment. And of course, I brought the first one there, my friend Anna, who had no idea that I was using her to carry out my ingenious, albeit sneaky plan. Before meeting my ex-girlfriend, and my ex-boyfriend, I brought the same Anna home and gave her a romantic dinner with wine and all kinds of treats. Told her that I'd be there in a couple of hours and I had some business to take care of. Naturally, at this point, I was meeting with my favorite girlfriend and a close friend. For this, by the way, I rented a separate apartment and hung cameras there to capture this moment of truth. It wasn't easy, of course, to do that kind of event, but I tried very hard, made arrangements and did everything I could to make my revenge finally happen. I knew a certain time when everyone would come to the rental apartment. I knew that they would be surprised that I did this. I knew that Anna wouldn't turn me down, and I knew that I would make it work. That was my biggest motivation. After telling my ex-girlfriend that I needed to get everything ready for her, I went to my rented apartment. There, where I was, Anna was waiting for me and wanted to share a bed with me in every sense of the expression. Giving the keys to these two personians who supposedly decided that I had forgiven them and I wasn't going to retaliate. They naturally did as I said. Arriving at the apartment in advance, I began to seduce in all the ways I knew. Innocent Anna, who just wanted us to be together. Of course, I was an asshole to her, but I needed it. I needed it to achieve the one thing that was driving me, and that was revenge. I was so passionate about getting back at my two abusers who had treated me like a sex rag that I forgot about other people's attitude toward me. I was driven by the past, and there was no way I could get that situation out of my head. And finally, what I wanted happened. First, my friend and my girlfriend, who had long had the status of exes, met outside the entryway where I was renting an apartment, and of course it was all according to my plan. The certainty that it would put them in a stupor and they wouldn't know how to behave betrayed my confidence in my brilliant plan, I thought. But I was also confident just wouldn't be able to walk away and realize that they never found out what I wanted. So I was 99% sure that they would go into the apartment and see what they were supposed to see. Anna and I were having the wildest sex I had ever had. And finally, the conclusion that I wanted to bring up, they walk into to the apartment and they see me having the wildest sex I've ever had with my ex-boyfriend's girlfriend. The only thing I regret was the fact Anna wasn't guilty of anything, but she was in this situation because she wanted to be with me. You should have seen the eyes of my former friend and the eyes of my surprised ex-girlfriend who thought I could never do that. I will try to describe it. The eyes of my friend were just like mine when I saw the picture of him copulating with my girlfriend. Red, filled with rage, ready to sizzle, but he couldn't do anything knowing that he'd done the same thing. The eyes of my beloved girlfriend were either angry or joyful as she couldn't believe what I had done. I even think sometimes that she began to be proud of me because of what I had done. But still, I think it was hatred for me and for what I thought was my brilliant plan. Every other person would have just crippled the person who could do that, but not me. I thought it through. And most importantly, I was able to make it a reality. And you know what? I loved it. For the first time, I felt like a real man. I'll tell you something else, I continued to do my dirty deeds in front of them, and Anna didn't mind because I gave her the pleasure she wanted, and I liked it. Naturally, I sent a video of how they came in, how they all saw it, and what their faces were like to all the characters that I decided to cross me like that. Honestly, I was ready to kill two of them, but what I did was much more satisfying and even a certain peace of mind in my soul. I don't regret what I did. The only one I feel sorry for is Anna, but I'll tell you all in confidence. We still do all sorts of dirty deeds that we both enjoy, so I don't regret a thing. Dear listeners, please like and subscribe to our channel. It stimulates me to release new videos for you.